Hi, my name is Kate. I'm also known as Two Little Kits, and welcome to my FlossTube. I have a bunch of works in progress that I'm excited to share my progress on, and a couple of other little small bits and pieces that I want to chat about. So let's get started. I want to first just talk about my state of mind for just a sec. I have done a bunch of stitching because I've been feeling very airy. I don't really know how else to put it. Not depressed, not upset, not anything like that. I don't really know what I want to be doing with myself a lot of the time this past fortnight. So I have poured a bunch of the energy that I've had that has no direction into stitching. So I'm assuming this is going to be relatively short FlossTube, but we'll see what happens. The first thing I'm going to talk about is my newest pattern, which is this one here. It's Zodiac Aquarius. It's the 11th in my Zodiac series, which means that there's only one more to go, and I'm so excited. I have enjoyed the challenge of doing this series, but I am very much ready for it to be done. I started it partway into Aries season, which is March to April, if you don't know. So I started it and released the first one in April itself. I've been doing very well at keeping on top of all of the releases. I scheduled it very early on in the series of when all of the patterns would be released. Most of them were every 4 weeks-ish. There were, I think, 2 that was after 6 weeks because of just the fact that there's not exactly 4 weeks in every single month. So yeah, it's been a challenge, but it's been a good challenge. And yeah, it's almost done, and this one's ready to be purchased. I've been sort of trying to brainstorm something that might combine all the patterns together that someone could theoretically purchase. So it's not just stitching all 12 side by side, but actually doing like a pattern that you would purchase that would be a fancy border or something. I don't know, I would love to hear your thoughts on something like that, and I would have the option to buy just the border or all of the patterns plus the border at like a discounted rate. So keep that in mind. Let me know what you think. That would be amazing to hear your thoughts on what I could release. But you can get this one now on my website, on my Etsy store, and on my Ko-fi store. The next thing that I want to share is all of my works in progress. They're all cross-stitch pieces. There's no design work done this past fortnight. And we'll start off with the one that I have as my thumbnail image, which is an upcoming pattern of mine called Boy Band. And if you aren't aware of what this is, I will explain. It is the boy band, the K-pop boy band within K-pop Demon Hunters, the Saja boys. As you can see, it has the word Saja there, and I'm currently stitching the word boys underneath it. But yeah, this one I'm hoping to have ready, let me bring up my calendar, for the 16th of February. That's my hope. I should be able to get it done in time. Whoops, that's just something that I'm sharing later. Yeah, so this one will be available relatively soon. It's got a bunch of colors compared to what I normally do for a cross stitch pattern, but I limited it down to as few colors as I could while still being true to the outfits within the movie. It was really tricky. It took quite a long time. I actually designed this pattern, the piece and then the pattern itself, I would guess like October last year. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and really work on this test stitch for quite a while. I did the actual skin. That fell down again. I'll leave it this time. So I stitched the skin shortly after I finished the pattern, but it then got put on the back burner a little bit. But yeah, it's coming along. Keep an eye out for it in my shop for the 16th. We'll obviously chat about it in the next FlossTube, I'm sure. So there's that one. My next work in progress is my itty bitty tiny one, which is this, oh, I think I've got an eyelash in my eye. It's this one here. This is Sunflowers by Van Gogh, and the pattern is by the Stitch Patterns. It's got so many different yellows in it, and I'm still going. I'm pretty sure there's still like two more yellows to go. Oh, I got a cat fur in that eye. That's annoying. Anyway, so this is one that I've been working on, and like I mentioned in the last FlossTube, this piece actually lives at my desk. So I frequently work on it when I'm in appointments, which, yeah, is super handy because I always have to do something with my hands during appointments. And sometimes my fidget, which is my Stimags, don't cut it. But these are great. I highly recommend these. And I smushed them up, so I need to fix it now. It's wrong, it's wrong. Oh my gosh. Okay, I got it. The next work in progress. What should we share? Let's share this one. So this one's almost done, which is awesome. This is Flower Dragon Meadow by Flossy Fox Shop. I'm just gonna put my working thread at the back for this one because it's kind of in the way. So look at that. I'm expecting to have this done by next FlossTube because I really don't have many more colors to go for the last part. It basically, the main red that you can see in here, I'm working on this area here. This is the last part area. So there's a little bit of red in this butterfly that's left to go. Then two blues. Yeah, the two main blues, which you can see in this dragon, will be in here as well. And most of that is in this flower that's here. And then the white. And I'm pretty sure that's it, and it'll be all done. Which is just crazy. I did ask I'm pretty sure I asked this in my last FlossTube, but I can't remember if I did or not. And I know I asked it in a mini talk show episode, but I don't think I got any responses. So I have been considering unpicking this red dragon up here and redoing it as a yellow dragon. I asked my youngest daughter what she thought, and she said no. And she was like vehemently no about it, which surprised me. So I was wondering what you guys thought, if it might be worth redoing it. Because if I hate it, then I'm going to want to unpick that again and redo it again. I don't know, I'm kind of sad that there's no yellow dragon, I'll be quite honest. I'm thinking I might mock it up in Windstitch and see what it looks like that way. Just using like the same colors and just do the dragon itself, and that would help me to stitch it as well if I unpick it and redo it. But I would love to know your thoughts, because yeah, there's no yellow dragon and I'm a little bit sad about that. But then there's two green dragons. I know for a fact that this one wouldn't work as a yellow dragon because of the yellow in the wing here. So this one would be the yellow dragon. Let me know what you think. Should I give it a go? But yeah, oh my gosh, it's kind of sad when a massive stitch along like that comes to a close, but also very exciting. So there is that one. There's so many works in progress, so we're still going. The next work in progress is my upcoming Zodiac piece, which also has the floss at the front. So give me a sec. So this is the last one. This is Zodiac Pisces, which I'm powering through. There's not really much else to say to that one. But it's happening. It's a thing. And I've been doing bits and pieces that's sort of the easiest parts, or what I have like a small snip of floss left over. So that's why there's like a tiny little bit done in this border up here. But yeah, it'll happen, and I'm hoping to get it done well before the 2nd of March so that I can have it all finished and just, I don't know, step back and breathe. Maybe even plan a next series. If you know of a series that I could do, let me know. That would be great. Next work in progress. We're still going. We got a bunch of works in progress. Next one is Extraordinary Birds by Lola Crow Cross Stitch. This was a stitch along. It's finished. It finished quite a while ago. I've done a tiny bit on this one. Not a lot, but I know that I did work on it in the last fortnight. So I'm currently doing the top heavy birds is what it's called. So this guy is pretty much done. This guy is coming close to done because I know they're pretty much done because I'm working on the back stitching for both of them. They're just not completed so that I can go on to the next stage. I don't remember when I was working on it, but I couldn't just sit there and finish all the back stitching. I had to get up and go. So they're close to being finished. And then what's the next part? Let's put this away and see what the next part is, just for the lols. So I have all the patterns already printed out. They're just in this. The next part is part 7, a horrible smell. Lovely. So that one is just, I don't know, I get the vibe, I get a feeling of when I want to stitch to this one. So I'm not in a rush. It comes after other things most of the time. My next work in progress is Flower Prairie, which I am caught up to today. I did just quietly, and I don't know if I'm gonna Photoshop it or not, but I actually stitched most of the last fortnight at least a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I think, because I took my monthly picture of everything I was working on and you could see February, like all the way up to today. So, oops to that, but I am wanting to stay on top of it. So I've been telling myself that I'm okay with stitching ahead of the game up to when I plan to record a FlossTube. So that's today. So yeah, today's one's cool. I really like today's flower. It's this little bendy one. It's a very different style from the rest of the flowers throughout all 3 of the DIY patterns. That's pretty cool. I think it's cute. We've got quite a few duplicates. I've already got, if I remember correctly, I already have a duplicate of the same number and flower combo. Yeah, that's right. I'm just trying to find it. It's this one here. So this purple one is here as well. So that's cool. It's in a way, it's both cool because random and also frustrating because I want to see all of the combinations, you know? Anyway, so there's that one. And my last work in progress, which you can probably guess, it needs a whole ordeal to get it ready. Alright, I have to be careful with it whenever I pull it out. So this is Fairytale, which is the Heaven and Earth Designs stitch along for 2026. And I've moved it within the Q-snap, which was an experience. I haven't done that in a long time, but I've never done it with this many threads being parked. Well, I don't think I've ever done it with parked threads. So that happened, but that's where we're at, which is amazing. I am enjoying doing this so much. I realize, oh, there's a stray thread, a stray end. I'm gonna snip that. Oh, there's actually 2. Oh, these scissors are good. They're really pointy. I might swap these scissors to be the project scissors. Anyway, I'm just seeing if there's any more ends. I should talk about, just in a random video, about how I'm stitching this. Let me know if you're interested in a video like that. So yeah, this is Fairytale. I have surpassed the long edge of the first page. I'm pretty sure the first page ends about here, the halfway mark. I'm going to bring up the pattern. Okay, so the edge of the first page is like this point here. The halfway mark of the pattern is between these points here. So that's the halfway point of the horizontal of the pattern. And then, yeah, the first page, okay, the first page is a lot higher than I said. It's like up here, if that makes sense. So like, is the first page of the pattern. And then the halfway mark of the actual whole pattern is like all the way down here. It's a really tall, long piece. I am obsessed. I really am enjoying it. I've made quite a number of mistakes, but I am more than happy to stitch an extra stitch on top of like a wrong stitch, if that makes sense. So like, just say I stitch a square, it should be a light green, and instead it's actually like a dark green. So instead of going and unpicking it and then trying to like anchor my floss for both ends, I just stitch over the top of it. So I would guess there's about 3 or 4 of those within the whole thing. It's so cool. And what am I up to? I'm up to 7,073 stitches, which is 7.98% of the way through the pattern. I might move my little butterfly and show you properly. There we go. Just move this needle minder. Yay! Let me know what you think. And if you're doing the Heaven and Earth stitch along, let me know which one you picked and how you're going, because I know I'm pretty far behind a lot of the people who are posting frequently in the Facebook group. But yeah, I'm curious to know how you're doing. And if you're trying to aim for the 6-page completion to get all of the patterns, because I know I'm not. That's all my works in progress, which is 7. I've worked on 7 different pieces. I didn't complete anything in the last fortnight, which is fine by me, because I completed a bunch recently. I'm just gonna swap these scissors, I think. Give them a try. Oh, these are my orts. I'll show you my orts for the Heaven and Earth designs. It's so, look at all that. That is like so much for how much I've done. And just the sheer number of parked threads. So that's like not many ends, if that makes sense. Anyway, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to put this now. All right, what else have I got to talk about? Works in progress, Aquarius. All right, new blog posts. I have 2 new blog posts on my website in the last fortnight. One of them is the December wrap-up post, which was enormous, like a lot of content in there, it took me a long time. I had very much planned on writing it midway through January so that I would stay on top of things this time around. But no, I released it on the very last day of January because of course. So that's up, and there'll be a link in the description where you can read that. And the other one is called Understanding Dye Lots in Cross Stitch. So that one I just released today, the day that I'm recording this. It's because I got in my Flower Dragon Meadow, one of the purples that I got, I discovered, so I had the leftover 209, a DMC 209, and I didn't think it was going to be enough floss for the piece. So I bought a new skein, and realized when I put the 2 together, the leftover and the new one, that they were very different colors. They were clearly both 209 because it didn't match, what I already had didn't match any other colors, but they were very different purples. And it made me think, well, you know, this is a thing that other people experience. I should write a post about it. So I did. And I've got that demo of that purple in the post, as well as I found some posts, one on Reddit and one on Facebook, to show really good examples of different colors that are actually the same DMC number, just different dye lots. So yeah, I hope that's helpful especially for beginners, because I can imagine being a beginner and maybe inheriting a bunch of flosses from someone, and then you want to go and buy a new skein of floss, and it's like, why don't these look the same? And that would be super confusing. But that's all I have on my website that's new. I did get some new things this past fortnight. One of them was the thing that keeps falling on the floor. It's fine. It's all good. I got these. This is the one that keeps falling on the floor. These ones just slipped on the handle. I got these, which are 9.5 inches, and this one is 6 inches, I think. Or like 5.5 inches. I don't know. The beechwood has weird sizes, which is confusing and annoying. But yeah, so I got these ones specifically for my Pretty Little Cities pieces that I've worked on in the past. And I have one more that I have as a work in progress, but I just haven't touched it for ages. It's one of the project bags that you can see here. It's one of them. Those are all active, not active, those are all like on hold works in progress, just to be clear. That's where they get stored. There's also a bigger one that's just there, which is a pattern that I've been trying to figure out how to make work for a very long time, and I can't figure out how to make it work. Those are going in these. That's why I've got 3. The other 2 The other 2 pieces I have rolled up ready to go into these. I just haven't done it yet. I bought the hoops. I don't know. I just haven't done it yet. I need to just find an hour or something to put together the backing fabric and hoop them. And then I would have 2 ready to go. I am working on Seattle, and that's a pattern that I would like to continue working on sometime soon. But I've got other things, as you can see, other things in the pipeline. And this one I got because the smaller hoops were a really good price, and I wanted to try this as a good hoop to stitch in. If it didn't work, then this is a good hoop to finish a Stitch People portrait in, so I got 1 extra. The other thing that I got was some new needle minders, because of course, and I've already put them on my needle minder hoop back there, so I will overlay a picture of what I got. I got them from Ginger Stitch AU, which I love their needle minders. They're really good quality, really strong magnets, and really cool designs in my opinion. So I got I got a pack of 3, which is 3 little flowers, and they're actually they're a lot bigger than I had hoped they would be, which kind of sucks. And the print of them is slightly misaligned, which also kind of sucks. So I do say that I really like the quality of Ginger Stitch AU, but that one in particular I'm not particularly pleased with. But the other 2 needle minders I got were an adipose, which if you watch Doctor Who, you will know what that is. And I also got the Starry Night needle minder that's pretending to be a little embroidery hoop piece, because as I've mentioned in the past, and as you may have seen from my last FlossTube, my favorite painting that has been done in history is The Starry Night by Van Gogh. So yeah, I still have the little cross stitch here. And that's all of the stitchy related things to talk about. There's not a lot to chat about regarding IRL things, but the stuff that I do have noted down to chat about is 2 things. One, we went to the movies with my oldest daughter's mentor. She has a mentor that's a high schooler it's through a program that basically helps kids on the spectrum make a friend, pretty much. They held a movie day kind of thing where they rent out the entire theater and yeah, like have the lights low and the volume not too loud, and it's good for kids with sensory needs. And we watched Monsters University, but I didn't actually watch it technically. I sat behind my daughter and her friend, and both of my daughters actually, because the siblings were allowed to join. And I used my neck light and stitched and listened to my audiobook. Because I've seen Monsters University a number of times. I haven't seen it for a while, but I'm not interested in watching that right now, especially when I was really enjoying my book. I can't remember what book it was, but I was enjoying my book at the time. And the other thing that happened in the last week was yesterday, actually. I donated blood successfully again, hooray. So I am technically up to, I think it was 13 donations, successful donations. So I'm coming up to 2 liters of blood donated total, which is exciting. I apparently was extremely hydrated because, and thankfully I warned is it plebologist? I can't remember. I warned the person that was going to stick the needle in me that I had been drinking a bunch of water. And it was a good thing because I squirted blood all over my arm and it went on the paper that she had like covering my clothes, because I mentioned that I'd drunk a bunch of water, and thankfully it didn't go on her, but it did go on the floor. But there was a lot of blood, and I won't set a picture on this of that because I know some people are squeamish at the sight of blood. But yeah, I made a mess, but I filled the bag in less than 5 minutes again, so yay me. I just thought that was funny. But nothing else has really happened. As I mentioned at the start of the video, I've just been kind of regarding, I don't know what to do, and I don't know what, excuse this creaking, it's Noodle in his desk box. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I've been And I have changed medication. I've gone back to what I was on in hopes that I can go back to how I was feeling, because the apathy is real. Oh my gosh, Noodle, you look like you're about to fall out. Yeah, the apathy is real, and I am glad I'm able to fill it with some stitching. Let's just leave it at that. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. Let me know your thoughts about what I've asked you about in the comments. I really love hearing what you have to say about the questions that I ask. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're not already. And until next time, I will see you around the internet. Bye.